I never could lay off the high ones either. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. Today, on its 30th anniversary, I'm going to be talking about the 1992 sports comedy drama, A League of Their Own. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and some tailored film recommendations, so be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. A League of Their Own stars Geena Davis, Tom Hanks, and Lori Petty, and was directed by Penny Marshall. Set in 1943, it tells the story of the inaugural year of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. A League of Their Own was released 30 years ago today, on July 1st, 1992. Over the last 3 decades, it has cemented itself as one of the great sports movies, and has had a significant impact on many who have watched it. I'm one of those people. I played softball, t-ball through college, and even played for the boys' baseball team prior to t-ball. This film was around for the entirety of my playing years, and I can't even venture a guess as to how many times I've sat down to watch this film with teammates over the years. As anyone who's ever played softball knows, A League of Their Own is a team bonding staple. There are a lot of great sports movies out there, including a number of fantastic baseball ones, but this has always been one of my favorites. Even as a kid, there was something special about this one. Back then, I primarily viewed this film in the most basic context, baseball. And when viewed in that context, it's an entertaining and engaging sports comedy, with plenty of baseball as well as off-field drama. This baseball aspect makes A League of Their Own an obvious choice for a team bonding activity, but the themes and messages make it an even stronger option. Yeah, it's about baseball, but it's also about teamwork, the glass ceiling, female friendships and sisters, about overcoming stereotypes and setting precedents in the hopes of creating lasting change. Yes, this is a fun baseball movie, but it's also an important one, inspired by true events and the real All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. It's now been 79 years since the first game of the league's inaugural 1943 season, and if it weren't for this movie, the vast majority of people would be completely unaware of this notable time in baseball and social history. A League of Their Own isn't a documentary, or even a biopic. It tells a very fictionalized account of the league's first season, changing names, completely making up characters, and amalgamating important events. But the basis is there. The opportunities the league offered. The restrictions and controls still exerted on players, despite the otherwise forward-thinking aspects of the league's existence. And, of course, the impact that the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League would have far beyond just baseball. Now, that probably sounds like a lot for a film to tackle, and it is, but A League of Their Own pulls it off, and is all the better for it. The tonal and genre balancing act results in a near universally appealing film. It's the type of movie that can just be viewed as a fun underdog sports comedy, but it can also be viewed as an impactful and inspirational story of historical social change that's just as relevant today as it was in 1992 and in 1943. The film trends a little over-sentimental at times, but it never feels heavy-handed or distracting with its messages. It's a charming, feel-good film that, if anything, feels like it's actually holding back on showing some of its stronger points, at times deflecting with moments of comedy to keep the tone enjoyable and the story moving along. The story and historical context of the film are both very important, but this movie wouldn't have worked without a fantastic set of characters and the ensemble cast who portrays them. Everybody always likes to begin by talking about Tom Hanks as Jimmy Dugan. I know he's top billed, and I will get around to talking about him, but first I want to talk about the characters who are truly the backbone of this film, Dottie and Kit. Geena Davis and Lori Petty bring these sisters to life, and the rivalry and support between the two characters is what really drives this film. Although Dottie is arguably the main character of the movie, we're able to see their relationship from both perspectives and see just what baseball means to each of them. The drama between the sisters is well done and well paced, culminating in a satisfyingly ambiguous moment that movie fans can still argue over to this day. Beyond Dottie and Kit, the Rockford Peaches are rounded out by an assortment of memorable characters. Doris, May, Marla, Evelyn, Betty. Some of the team members are reduced to only one or two defining characteristics, but a surprising number are actually decently fleshed out with their own small story threads, something that's more than a little difficult to pull off with a large ensemble cast. And don't worry, I wasn't going to forget about Tom Hanks. He plays a bit against type here as a washed-up alcoholic ex-ball player who's as crass and disgusting as they come. There's not a ton of reasoning behind his character arc, but we do see him change over the season, and of course, deliver one of the most memorable and oft-quoted lines in film history. I've seen this movie so many times, but it's one that I can't help but always come back to. It's an enjoyable and very well-made film, but it's also an important one, and one that I've got a deep personal connection with. It not only entertains, but it transports you. It takes you back to a unique and important time in baseball history. But as any player will tell you, it also takes you back personally to your own playing days. It makes you miss the game and the teammates you once spent so much time with. It's also the type of movie that'll continue to have that kind of impact on people for decades to come. The aspiring pitcher or right fielder who watches A League of Their Own for the first time ever with her t-ball team is gonna remember the fun baseball movie, but she's also gonna remember the story about a female baseball league made by a female director and with a largely female cast, and be inspired by it, just like decades of players before her. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. There's a lot to like about this movie, but pro number one is the story. Now, for me, this pro can kind of be split into two different sections. There's the entertaining, fictionalized side that focuses on the made-up characters and their engaging stories and drama, and then there's the historical side of the story, and the fact that the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League actually existed. Any angle you view it from, the story here is really good. And like any great sports movie, it doesn't matter if you know how the final game turns out. It's the culmination of the whole that really matters. The second pro is the characters. Much like with the story, there's a lot you can dig into with this pro. This movie is about an entire baseball team and their manager, so there are a lot of characters. Usually in a movie like this, only one or two of the characters are really focused on, while everybody else ends up being kind of one note. And although this film definitely has its leads in Dottie, Kit, and Jimmy, it spends a surprising amount of time with the team as a whole, fleshing out some of the other players more than you might expect. Characters on the page are one thing, but the characters in this movie really come to life because of the casting. Everybody is so perfect for their roles here. Geena Davis, Lori Petty, Tom Hanks, even Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. They all function and interact as a believable team. On the con side, my only issues are really just minor nitpicks. The movie definitely gets off to a bit of a slow start, and while I think the then modern day bookends work well for the end of the movie, I don't think it works quite as well for the beginning when you don't know who the character is. The movie does dip into kinda hokey, overly sentimental territory at times, which isn't horrible, but does stand out a little bit to me having watched it so many times. And rewatching it now with a critical eye, I was struck by how many times jokes or little bits of comedy are thrown in as a way to either cover up some kind of mean-spirited stuff or to deflect away from some of the core messages when they start to get a little too serious. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying A League of Their Own or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd use them if you're in the market for any of these movies. I'm gonna give A League of Their Own 4.5 out of 5 paws. This is a unique and important part of baseball and social history, told via an engaging story, memorable characters, and a fun, feel-good, but impactful film. I would recommend A League of Their Own to just about anybody. Baseball and sports film fans will probably feel the most connected with this movie, but this really isn't one where you need to know about the sport. It is a baseball movie, but it's about a lot more than that. So if baseball isn't really your thing, this movie still might be. It's got very broad appeal and is sure to entertain and connect with nearly anybody. If you liked A League of Their Own, I would recommend Battle of the Sexes. Rather than baseball, it focuses on tennis and tells the real story of Billie Jean King as she not only starts the Women's Tennis Association, but goes on to defy gender stereotypes and define excellence in women's sports. If you want another movie about a women's sports team that features an ensemble cast, you might want to watch Whip It. This one is a coming-of-age comedy drama about a roller derby team that features some of the same messages about teamwork and finding your group. And if you want another baseball movie that leans into some over-sentimentality, you should watch Field of Dreams. It does feature some baseball, but it's less about playing baseball than it is about the love of the game and the impact that it can have on people. All right, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen A League of Their Own? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what's your favorite baseball movie? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information on this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies. The way life should be.